Yeah, I gotta give him the evil mood. Evil
I
mouth.
get it.
Or whatever.
Alright, well, we're live now, and only 40 minutes late from what we originally planned on, but we're down one person, and we have a new overlay this week, thanks to Jen.
Hey.
Also, technical difficulties.
A lot of technical
And you're welcome.
difficulties.
Boom. Hosting.
Yeah, but we're back, and to catch up on where we left off last week. Yo, did you look at it?
Oh my god, this looks so cool.
It's
guys.
it's way better, isn't it? Than nothing. It's way better than nothing. Infinitely better.
One thing though, Revan, the colors and stuff. I should have told you before we started streaming. Sorry, guys. The color of your stuff in Roll20 right now, I think it's like set to gray or something like that. Just set it to green because with the overlay, it's our colors are hidden, so people aren't gonna know like who's pointing and who's pinging.
Yep.
And then it'll match. Alright, so we're down Sandre this week.
Your hat matches. Yes.
We're down Sandre this week, but he'll be back next week, hopefully. And we're gonna go on anyways. So when we ended last game, you guys had struck a deal with the Snow Dragon here on the island at quite a steep cost.
Coitus?
Quite a steep cost. You also have the slave, or ex-slave for the dragon, Refna, and the scout here, who have both agreed to accompany you back on your ship. So you guys got back on the ship, and you're sailing for the Wanshi Colony Island.
Alright.
Go team.
I was able to put like all 5 of those.
Wait, we're on the ship sailing already?
Yeah, you guys are actually...
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I meant to talk to the dragon again, but that's...
You had already left
Yeah.
at the end of the game last week.
That's the way it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's true. Yeah, so you guys make it back, and I believe you're 2 days ahead of the absolute time limit that you had to make to meet the prince before he left to head back for the capital and then back for Runestone.
That's how you do it.
So bad. I was looking for my Irwin token and it wasn't there.
Aww.
You know what the sad part is? He was there, and I was like, oh, better get rid of that. If it makes you feel any better, I have a bunch of maps that you guys may go back to at some point that have the Ming token on it, and I was going through today erasing all those.
Well, that's sad.
Whoops, she's dead.
For everyone except Stefan.
Yeah, well, he moves on.
I always move on.
He's
Right,
the
so we're
survivor.
with the prince?
Yeah, so you're back in the village here, and the prince has agreed to meet with you, well, is waiting on you to show up.
That's right.
Do I have like just 5 like trolls just standing outside of the house right now?
Yeah, you brought those back. It's gross.
Is.
They'll get over it.
Oof.
Boom.
Okay. I come back screaming of great success. Not really screaming, but...
That perception check wasn't a great success.
Wasn't.
Alright,
Great success.
so, yeah, the prince...
Oh, I have the slave woman with us.
That is correct.
She's aggravating.
She's not a slave. She might be. Soon. But not yet.
She might be soon.
Yeah.
But I won't. That's not my business.
Not in the current, yeah. moment.
She's like, if she writes a book, a biography, it'll be like 2 weeks a slave.
2 weeks this slave.
2 weeks
You
a
keep
slave.
cutting out, Derek. Do you have your push to talk on? Because you're releasing too soon, if so.
Excuse me?
You keep cutting out on me, so I don't. I'm just saying.
That's a very private matter.
Fine.
Wowzer.
Yeah, but you brought Refna back with you, who was the dragon's captive. Their politically correct term. She was not an indentured servant. That's still too kind. Yeah, but the prince had agreed when you got back to meet with you. So since you were back, he wants a full rundown from you, Zhao Yu, as to what occurred on the island. Was there a dragon there in the first place? Did you slay it? If you didn't slay it, what have you done with it? Have you spoken with it? Where are you headed forward now, based on what he had asked you to do?
Right. So there was a dragon. Its name was Yonggang. Oh wait, no, sorry.
Weapon, go.
Where did it? He posted it somewhere.
He posted it. It was.
Albatari Protesta Glacius.
Oh, Millie,
Yeah,
turn
that-
it off on the
It's still posted in the Discord.
on the wall.
Is it? It's not posted in the chat though.
Albatari
Oh.
Protesta Glacius.
Yes, and he did post it here.
I'll have to do it later. So there was. Can you turn that down, please? Okay. So can you guys hear me? Yeah.
We weren't hearing anything, by the way.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, just
Oh,
fine.
okay.
In the background.
Okay, so Albatari Protesta Glacius, we met with him. He agreed to work with me for whatever favor we need. He gave us, most importantly, just getting to the point here, he gave us this woman who he had captured from the pointy-eared humans. I think she's got a lot of information. This was the trade that I got over an egg, which I think information is more important than an egg for now. Something we can always get later. But she knows, I'm sure, a ton about the new race of people and what they're doing and everything like that. So she's yours, whatever information you need about them and them coming into this area. I tell him about what the other guy who we didn't kill talked to us about, an entire like city worth of people, like millions of people coming, and them they're fleeing from something. So that's a thing that's happening. I'm sure she or him can give him more details, but mostly I brought them so he can question them how he pleases. That's the quick rundown.
Didn't the guy leave though?
No, the scout came back with you.
He's with us.
Okay.
Okay. Prince Yuzhen asks you. He'll question this woman on his own time. But what have you learned from her and from this scout that came back with you?
Right. So, there's an entire group of people fleeing from some form of, I don't really know what. I asked her real quick. What are you guys running from again?
Okay, so you invite her into the room. She's just sort of off to one side in the other room right now. She tells you that her people are fleeing from the. They have a couple names for them, but the proper name, she says, is the Ramudans. They're and she looks at you and at the prince. You not so much you, since you're covered in armor. They look sort of like you do, but they're serpentine. They're like snakes. They have long protruding necks, and they're vicious creatures that offer no quarter and have left millions dead in their wake in the past.
I also look up and, like, as she's talking, and look to the guy that we had saved and said, also, according to him, she's terrible at her job and is apparently very quick to turn traitor on her people. And I just say that kind
Which
of
could benefit us.
Yeah, I just say it kind of deadpan, like I don't care one way or the other. It's just more information.
Yeah.
The prince appreciates a variety of opinions on this.
But yeah, so they're running. They're trying, and apparently these type of people are scary enough to have an entire civilization move instead of fight. So that's something
And how
to know.
we still don't know.
I spoke to the other scout that was with her. Uh, he said that he could probably get me in front of the right people if we were to look to join together as two civilizations, and they might be able to help us in our certain uh, future predicaments, as if we were to help them at least find quarters for now. Uh, I don't know if there's all of these islands would be enough for all of them, but you know that's something that's well above what I could decide. Uh, so I think it'd be worth having him find someone that we can talk to that's a little bit higher up and see if we can use these people almost like we did the Wanshi that were below ground.
All right. And where are these people that you would be able to speak with them on behalf of this scout that you brought back?
I look towards her and I ask her, "What's up?"
Are you speaking of Refna, or are you speaking of the scout that you brought back?
Oh,
I mean,
asked
technically,
Refna
I guess
to
they're
see
they're
if
both
she-
scouts. She was part of a scouting party.
Yeah, I ask if she knows. If not, I'll go
More
get him.
willing to part with information.
Yeah.
She knows where, assuming that it hasn't moved yet, because none of their encampments here in the islands are permanent. Because it's not their land, she hastily adds. Assuming that they haven't moved yet, she knows where the person that would be in charge in this area is, where their camp would be, and that would be the person to speak to if you were going to speak to anyone.
Okay.
However,
Do that.
you're not going to get, within the bounds of the camp, without someone there to sort of lead you in or give your visit some kind of veneer of authority or diplomacy, if you understand.
I mean, if we bring what's his face with us, that should be enough for now. Yeah.
Are you referring to the scout?
Yeah.
Okay. He pops in. Actually, he's waiting outside and he hears you. He'd be more than happy to do so, especially if it means getting rid of Refna. He's tired of
We'll leave
seeing her.
here. Yeah, she'll stay here. But if he could bring us to them safely, we can just leave him with them. That's fine with us. I think that's a fair deal.
Well, he nods. You can I get a streetwise check from you?
Yeah.
Do I need to do one as well?
Uh,
I'm listening,
no.
so I don't know if it
No.
matters.
You get the feeling like he's going along with this mostly because his options are pretty limited, and you guys already have a lot of information that he probably wouldn't have given you.
Right.
But since it's already out there, he's not doing his people any worse by simply agreeing to do this rather than having someone else do it who he already knows would go ahead anyways.
Yeah. Smart man.
Well, I mean, he's the only person left alive he's the only soldier left alive out of the entire scouting group that went out, because he doesn't consider Refna anything more than sort of trash amalgamated into a humanoid form.
That's luck. Like, and also Revan used to be a nice guy.
That's an EpiPen, is what saved him. Sort of.
Beer has multiple uses.
Yeah, lucky for him that it happened at in the order that it did, because I think otherwise he probably would have died.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if you have a final statement for the prince, make it, and then give me your speaking check.
So we will go. I'm gonna go speak with the whoever for this group and see if we can come to some form of agreement that should be able to bolster our forces in this area. That also should give us more information about what's going on. But as far as that, I mean, we have the aid of 2 dragons. and the agreement between them, I don't expect that I couldn't do this for an entire group of people also. So, yeah.
Okay, and then give me the... Alright.
Ooh.
By the way, the prince counts as Wan Shi for the purpose of that bonus.
Dope.
Okay. Yeah, so he seems impressed. The prince nods and pulls a scroll out from his pack that he's got with him. He unfurls it, shows it around just a little bit to see that it's already... Not enough for you to read it, but to show that it's already been written out. And hands it over to you. It's a writ, a declaration that he signed in his own blood, marking the Wan Shi tribe here as an official part of the clan, as an official wing. There's only one clan, but back on the homeland, the subcontinent, there's 6 different wings of that clan to represent sort of like... It's always been one large family, but there are divisions over time, as familial units grow larger and larger. But this officially recognizes the group here as an additional wing to it, which means they, as soon as you have one, have the shared responsibility and privilege of submitting a person to speak as an elder on the council.
Sweet.
So there are 6 elders, which in the past has meant there's been a lot of political deadlock within the clan. But as soon as you, as the leader of the wing here, have picked one, you can send a representative for the council, and they'll vote within, for intertribal or interclan matters.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
He also says, I have to leave. I have other responsibilities. I'm the crown prince. I gotta go, guys. But he considers his trip out here to have been a success. He's glad that he was able to come himself because it was important to confirm some things, and he's got a lot of information that needs to be brought back to his people, like the dirge. But he accepts that a certain amount of negotiation still has to occur out here. So he presents to Zhao Yu it's an arrow, but it's a ceremonial arrow. It's black. It is made entirely of metal, with wings that are cut out of what looks like coral. It may be something different. Sandre would be able to make the call as a smith, but you don't know it offhand. You do know, though, the black arrow is an official symbol of diplomatic status for not the Wan Shi clan, but the Zan Shi, which is the other clan that's directly related to the royal family. This means this is the equivalent for the crown prince of like a signet ring for like a feudal monarchy. He is presenting you with the black arrow, which means that you speak with his authority, at least to establish a meeting. You couldn't sign a peace accord for like the empire, but you could certainly, you speak with the authority to say like, okay, if these people want to come to the table, you can say, okay, we'll agree to these terms, to be finalized at a later date. Here's where it'll be. Here's the people that'll be there.
Cool.
Yep. So he gives you the black arrow. He says that I want you to put a stop to the war, the attacks, whatever it is that's going on out here. I give you the full authority to do whatever it is, whatever's required within your power to make it stop. This arrow is recognition that you can negotiate on my behalf, whether that be a peace treaty or, at least the groundwork for it, to meet with myself or someone else as an official representative of the Imperial Court for future proceedings. I quite honestly, I don't know these people. It sounds like they're in a terrible bind, but my people are going to come first for me. If it looks like they are going to require too much of us, or that they're unwilling to negotiate, you have the full authority of my station to use whatever means necessary to just take care of the problem. If you need to take your clan to wherever they are and just put a stop to them with blade and arrow, so be it. But if they're willing to come to the table and talk, and it would save lives on our side, then, I'm all for it.
Woo! Are you gonna take this woman with you?
Huh?
Are you gonna take the woman with you?
Yeah. I think that,
Great.
I think that the Dirge is going to have quite a few questions for her.
Yeah.
Alright, he will be leaving tomorrow, which is the day that the boat heads back to the capital for the Whispering Shore, and tells you that as soon as some sort of resolution has been reached here, you can send message to me. I will be at Jaji Jujin, or it's the summer retreat. It's the island in the Runestone Sea. You know it as, it is it's the second Imperial city. It is purely for the Imperial Court, the Imperial family, and what entertainment and or scholars are called on, individually. It's a city built on an artificial island in the middle of a tiny sea. The entire thing is a walled structure, and it's supposed to be the second most impenetrable structure within the Empire, Runestone being the first.
What's the name of the slave woman again?
Refna.
Refna. Sweet. Well, I say blood of my blood, shake his hand. Give him a nod.
Yep, he shakes your hand. He reminds you, if you do need something from him or have questions, he leaves tomorrow, so you know where to find him here in the village. Otherwise, he wishes you well.
Yep.
Alright, so he leaves, his guards go with him. And if you do have any follow-up questions, he'll be here for one more day. And the slave woman will go with him.
What about the scout?
The scout is going with you guys.
Right back. So we can question him. I know you can't see me on camera, but
That's fine.
I'll be talking. We will.
Does the scout have a name?
Yes.
His name is Leon.
Okay.
We're gonna figure out where. Ask him where the people are. Where the people that we need to find. His people.
He asks if you have a map of the Whispering Isles.
Point to Nalera.
What? Oh, map. Yes.
Got a map.
I go into my pack, and I have a beautifully rendered map, and I lay it out on the table for him. And all of the islands and stuff like that are very clearly identified on it. I'm going to double check real quickly. And at one point, I also copied their runes. I don't know what they mean, but I do have their runes on the map in the appropriate places. So, I'm assuming he speaks that language.
He does.
I don't. I don't. But as I lay it down, I do say we would also be glad of a translation of these. And I just kind of lay it out and put a mug on either end of it to just kind of keep it laid out flat. I don't hold it down or anything.
Okay. He looks over the islands, noting the script that has been copied onto here that's in a language that he's familiar with. He motions to the three most northeast islands, one of which you'd already been to, the small one up on the sort of the very middle top, and then he points to the larger island, second from the top north, second from the right.
You have the map, right, Derek?
Yeah, I don't know how to share it so it's viewable.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. You gave it to us to see, right? Yeah, map of isles, and then it says marked island map.
Okay, there it is. So, can you guys see this? Can you?
Yeah, I can see it in Twitch.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I could see it. Twitch.
He points to the one right here, and
Okay.
says on the eastern shore here, it's just south of the frost line. The camp used to be here. It should be there for at least another 3 or 4 weeks.
And we were on the island. To meet the snow dragon. We were on the island just east of that, correct?
No, the snow dragon was on this island here. You guys sailed the Wanshi live here. You guys sailed around the coast and down. You're going north this time over here.
Okay, so just in general, this area is cold AF, right?
It's cold. The islands that don't have any barrier between them and the northeast wind are the ones that are covered in fog and get regular snow. A place like the Wanshi Island is insulated from that, so it's still a temperate area, but it doesn't snow all year round, and it doesn't have the same sort of fog or cloud cover that the outer islands get.
Okay.
Yep, but he says it's on that island. I would recommend not sailing right up to it, as you're unlikely to make it close enough to the camp without being attacked. But if we pull up...
I stop him right there, and I just kind of say, attacked by whom? What kind of forces do you have currently stationed there?
Enough.
That is suspiciously non-specific.
It is, isn't it?
To Jayu, like, clearly this is not my, like, I don't get information out of people this way. I'm used to intimidation. So I just kind of look at him with, like,
Revan interrupts.
make him tell, please.
If you require resistance, I suggest you give us a sufficient answer.
Stefan, can you hear us?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm super gluing something. What was your question?
Basically, I'm just looking at you like, make this guy tell us what kind of forces they have stationed on this island so we don't die.
I asked him the question. All right, that's good. Does he tell us? Or?
There are enough of us on the island that if you approach openly by ship, you're not going to make it to land.
Oh wow.
So...
You literally just said that. I was asking for specifics. Jayu.
So, if we land a couple miles south of there and march along the coast, I can go in front of you and speak on your behalf.
Who's to say that if you go in front of us, you're just not going to warn them of our arrival, and we die anyway?
Then why not bring an army with you?
Here's an idea.
Okay, sorry about that. All right.
Jayu, do we have an army? I feel like we should use an army.
I don't have an
Yeah,
army.
let's do that.
How many people are stationed on that island?
He
What's
never
his name
said.
again?
He said enough.
Being vague on
Listen,
purpose.
motherfucker. You're not really in
I
the
could have
position.
done that. I could have intimidated
I
the
can
shit out
just
of
go
him.
ask Refna. Like, just give me the information. Like,
She wouldn't know.
Ah, God, Jesus. Like, what do you have? I'm trying to help your people. I don't know what you want from me.
I don't know how many people are there right now. Minimally, there are dozens.
Okay. What type of fortifications did they have? Like, are they just shooting down any ship they don't know coming? Or is it a little bit more peaceful than that?
It's all temporary structures, but there are enough mages that if you pulled up in a ship, it'd be sunk before you reach the shore.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll go on the other side of the island and come not from that side. Would that work?
It's unnecessary. If you just land a few miles away and go overland, they're not going to stop you. We don't have the people to cover the entirety of the island.
So we'll do that. There we go. Problem solved.
He's also suggesting that he goes ahead and announces our arrival very politely.
No, he can come with us. It's fine. I'm a polite person.
We've all seen.
Yeah. I apologize to him for being so brash, but like we are trying to help. I hope he understands that. Like, we want peace between our people and his people. And I really hope he can agree to something like that, and he's not just, pulling our leg here. And I kind of look at him as I say that. Does he show any signs of, like, I get that, or
Look,
he still has, like,
I'd like peace as well. I don't like living outside in the cold like this. I'm trying to figure out if we could eke out an existence here in the islands and how many people we're going to have to kill and how many people we're going to have to lose to earn that.
Okay. Streetwise, just to make sure he's being earnest.
You get the idea that he's being straight with you. He's just a cynical.
You can see the chat window on Twitch.
Oh yeah. Okay, great. So we'll do that.
He's being honest with you. He's just a cynical person.
Wonderful.
Why go through all the trouble of invasion anyway if a peaceful option?
I don't.
the
Well, he
potential
explained
of a
that.
peaceful
Yeah,
option
he explained that already.
With the humans.
Oh.
But he's not dealing with humans anymore. Okay, great.
Oh yeah.
So, well, you're a liaison. You're not.
Humans below.
You're not an ambassador for the entire humans like I am for the Celestians.
Look at this guy.
The opposite of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Okay.
am as far from that as you could possibly be.
I know. And that's why you're not in this position. That's why you're a fucking hired hand, and that's why I have you with me. Okay, let's go. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do that. We're actually gonna sleep. We're not gonna go right this second.
You don't need to sleep.
Well, Revan will. And you will. No, you don't. Revan and
All right.
Sandre here. What are we doing with Sandre?
He'll go with you. Are you taking any of your Wan Shi with you?
No,
Fake.
don't need them.
What are you doing as far as, are you meeting with them for what just happened with the prince, or are you going to wait on that?
Yeah, are they on the way? They're south of us, right? It's actually in opposite direction.
The camp that the foreigners have is north of you.
Right. Where's the Wan Shi? Where's my Wan Shi people?
Where are my Wan Shi at?
Well, you're in the settlement that they have on the island here, but
Oh, I'm dumb.
as for the actual Wan Shi clan, that's on the old continent, which is south of here along the east coast.
No. I meant my people. I forgot we were just in my area. Great.
This is
I'm
their
gonna
house,
meet with all
bruh.
the elders. I'm gonna call a quick meeting with all of them.
Okay, your council of 5 that you have set up.
Yeah. The group can come with me if they want. They don't have
I
to.
do.
Okay.
Okay, you call a meeting.
I tell them that we're just gonna leave tomorrow morning, so if you guys want to come with me, you can. Otherwise, just chill.
Very eloquent.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, you the elders that are in the village assemble for you. 4 of the 5 of them are here.
Who didn't show up?
Luen is not in the village. The guy that you set up as the military commander, he's out doing scouting activities.
Okay, that's fine. Someone can just forward.
He's out doing activities.
Yeah,
That's good.
he got some bunk beds.
That's the type of person I want. So I just let them know about these type of people. I actually bring what's his face with us? What is his face?
Layan.
Yeah. Leia.
Lane. I bring
Layan.
him, and I introduce
Like
him
Leo,
to them.
but not.
And does he show his pointy ears, or does he look like a human right
He looks like a human.
now? I ask him if he can look like his normal self,
Self.
just for a hot second here.
Okay. He takes off. You notice he's got 4 rings on his left hand. He takes off 2 of them, and then replaces one of those back on the other finger. And over the course of about 10-15 seconds, he gains about 4 inches in height, and his skin goes from being sort of a dark beige to the ruddier orange color that you saw before.
Wonderful.
His hair is flaxen colored. It's yellow.
So, I don't know if you guys have seen a person like this, but these people are in need, just like we were as a group not too long ago. So there's a small settlement of them to the north of us, and I ask from Nilara's map, and I kind of point to where it is. We're gonna go there and speak with them. Apparently, I basically tell them the whole thing, everything I talked to the prince about. I'm very
Open?
clear. Yeah, I'm very open with these people. They have a lot of people who need to seek refuge. It's very possible that in the coming months or year, we might have to help these people, and I hope that they're okay with that. But we're gonna go talk to them and see what we can do in the coming days to help with that, and at least see what their immediate goals are, and see if they can line up with ours as well. As far as the dragons, you guys all know that the blue dragon here is happy. I think we've all come into agreement that he's a good addition. We have another one, a white one, a snow one, down to the south. I point on the map where he is. Obviously, just stay out of his face. He wants to be in solitude, but if you guys are ever within, if, for whatever reason, if anybody sees them, scouts or whatever, make sure you talk about me to him, and that should help. Make sure if you talk about you're part of my group, he should be fine.
Well, none of them have seen him yet. Like, none of your
Yeah.
people have seen a snow dragon near the island.
Yeah,
Also,
I
out
don't
of
think
character, real
they
quickly,
will.
Jayu, have you talked to the dragon about the snow dragon yet?
No. How long did it take me to get into the area that he went to from here? Like the hills?
It
that he
was,
burrowed into?
You mean to go to where the blue dragon lives now?
Yeah.
6 hours maybe.
Okay. Do they have a horse?
You guys have about 24 horses on the island.
How long would it take if I had a horse?
About half that time.
Okay. I'm gonna do that. You guys are welcome to come with me if you want.
I go with him.
By you guys, I mean Nalara and Riven and Sandre, not the other people.
I make a point to go with him.
Yeah. So we're gonna borrow a couple horses. We're gonna go up to the dragon. Just
Borrow,
let him know what's
these are
going
your horses, man.
on. But do they
Revan's gonna
have any
kill 'em all.
questions? I think I
Huh?
explained everything about what's happening. I mean, they're safe here. Just don't leave the island right now. The waters are still dangerous. We're trying to resolve that, obviously. I'm gonna come back here after we talk to the pointy-eared people, and then hopefully everything should be great. Maybe we'll have a bunch of friends.
Can we find a better name than pointy-eared people?
Flax,
So we go.
the flax seeds,
That sounds like a very bad 70s band.
Flaxawaxos.
Flaxos.
I look at Revan. I was like, "Are you coming?"
That we don't have we can make a name. You know what? That's something they can do while we're gone. You guys make a name for these people. Draw pictures of them.
Sadly offensive.
Have
I
someone
When
who's
we go to
inventive
meet them,
find a name for them.
you could
Eh.
also just ask.
We don't have a
Our
word for it.
friend-
We've never seen him.
We could just ask Leon. Leon.
Yeah, but he has his own word for it in his language. It's not the
So why
same.
don't we just say that word?
Loan word it.
That's not our word. We need our own word.
Yeah, he gave you his word, and he gave you what it means in your language, and it means the people of Brook or of Leaf and Stream.
Yeah.
But what is
People
the
of Leaf
word?
Stream.
What is the word itself?
Gone leaf people. Tree runners.
Tree runners. Oh my god.
Whatever tree
What is the
runners
word
translates to
itself?
into Celestian. Tree runners. We'll call them that. Put that down in the books. All right, we leave. We're going. Take us
Is
to
Revan
Celestian.
coming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just kind of stands up and follows you quietly.
I asked Leon if he wants to go with us. He doesn't have
Leon?
to. He can just chill here. Yeah, that's what I said.
No. He's fine here. He's gonna get a night of sleep inside somewhere.
That sounds great.
Without threat of bleeding out.
Well, yeah, but he hasn't been bleeding out for days. No, as far as your council here, I mean, they trust you implicitly since you brought them out of the Undersea.
Sorry guys, I'm getting over being sick, by the way.
You're good.
Yeah, but they all trust you implicitly. I mean, if they have questions, they'll bring them up here. And I mean, you gave them the authority as the council to make decisions in your absence if you didn't give them a clear order on what should be done.
Oh,
Yeah, they trust
I
you
also tell them
implicitly, so
about
go
the.
ahead and decapitate them.
I show them the writ. Like they're true Wan Shi now. That's a fucking red letter day for us. High fives all around, boys.
They ask if you are going to pick the representative or if they should, amongst themselves, pick one.
That's a good question. What would the Wan Shi do? The Wan Shi would choose among themselves. You guys vote. There's 5 of you. Yeah, you guys vote. And if you can't come to an agreement by the time I'm back, I will choose. I'm sure you will, though, because you're all wonderful people.
They tell you right there they want to send Councilman Bayan.
Which one's that? That's my boy?
He's no. You're the guy that you put in charge of the military was like your second in command in the Undersea.
Yeah.
Bayan is one of the 3 surviving elders that came from the Undersea with you. Since one of them died before you left, and then one of them has died since then.
Okay.
He's somewhere around like his mid-50s. It's difficult to tell because they don't have solar years down there, but
Yeah.
you think he probably, with his age, will at least get a little bit more respect than if you'd sent someone young. It's going to be hard either way.
Yeah. All right, I give him the scroll. Is that the right thing to do? I give him the scroll.
Yeah. The scroll.
Did I do that to you, Derek?
Yeah. They'll have a copy of this made before he goes, though, to leave here.
Okay. Yeah. Just scan it. Fax one to my office.
Yeah.
Alright, we need some more blood.
Well, you just feed blood into the scanner.
I want them to have a feast.
That's a whole new type of blood magic.
I want this to be a. This should be a day. I mean, you guys finally got it. It's like the opposite of Independence Day. We're now part of the group.
We officially have statehood.
Yeah, like this is what you guys wanted.
Happy 51st State Day.
But yeah, I think there should be a feast tomorrow night. I won't be here.
You're gonna have a feast without you?
There should be a feast. I won't be here. Make it good, but not great. I don't want to be sorry that I missed it.
That, like, we should. If you're gonna have a feast in honor of this, you should about ethics,
Nah.
like, and
Nah.
etiquette to know that you should be here for that.
I'm the cool guy who doesn't look at explosions. We have a birthday party for me, and I'm the only one who doesn't show up because I'm
Yeah,
so
you also
busy
kill
saving the
people's
goddamn world. That's the way
That-
we do it.
That doesn't make you cool. That makes you an ass.
That makes
No, Jen, prayer hands.
yeah.
I'm so humble.
That's so humble.
Yeah, it's my humble brag. All right. No, but there should be a feast sometime. We'll do it eventually.
Okay.
I'm super excited. High fives all around. Blood of my blood.
Blood of my blood. Yeah, let's do
Finger
it.
crossbows.
Finger
All right,
crossbows
but-
for everybody.
We grabbed those horses and we set out because it's getting late.
Okay. The dragon's still like digging out his lair. When you find
So
him.
that's gonna take a while.
Oh yeah. The other one was a natural cave system that he adapted. This one he's doing it himself.
Is he bitching while he does it? Like, do we hear him like from a few feet away? Like, oh God, fuck,
He's
this
probably
fucking
excited.
sucks. I miss my cave.
No, but he is using his lightning to glaze the cave walls to make them crystalline hard.
That's dope.
That's
That's how
fucking
Krispy
badass.
Kremes are invented.
Yeah. Well, the sign outside is the only thing that's there, and it says hot and ready.
Hot. What's up, dude?
Cease.
I holler from a long ways away so we don't freak him out and get
Is
lasered
that
in the
is
face.
that what you say in character?
What up? What's up, bro team?
The dragon emerges from the cave, and actually does it's strange to see it, but what looks like a bow.
Cool. I bow back.
All right.
What I would think is a little bit lower, because that's what I heard is.
Humble bow. Yeah.
I don't do that, and I actually look at Jayu like confused as to why he is doing that. But,
Yeah, he didn't expect you to bow anyways. You're a dick.
yeah, that's fine. I'm like genuinely confused, but I mean,
I get off the horse.
All right. Oh, and Sandre didn't come with you guys. He's
fine.
doing an impromptu date night with the smith.
Oh.
oh, that's right. He's all up on that. He's
Well,
trying.
they're gonna go feast. They're gonna go to the feast together
I bet they're gonna go to the feast together.
and the after party.
Feast or plus one.
Feast.
It's gonna be just like the second Matrix
Nope.
I don't remember which one.
happened. It was the one
They all
that came
mixed in
after
my
the good
brain.
one.
Well, I mean, I remember the first one. I remember the last one. I don't remember how many there were.
There's 4 if you count the animatrix.
Around, like
All right.
orgy rape.
Either way. Yeah, but the dragon has. The only thing his cave is large enough for now is he can go inside. There's like one more or less 30-foot circular room, and all of his treasure is piled up against one wall.
Yeah.
But he
How big is the treasure pile?
I think you'd
eyes
have
the
to go
treasure
in.
pile.
You'd have to go inside to see.
Oh, do we? Okay, I don't.
Yeah.
If I don't see it, then I'm not gonna look.
yeah.
That's just.
I can't look at what I don't see.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I asked him how
It
things
makes
are
sense,
going.
right? We don't all. have
Progress is slow, but your people here have given me as much space as I require, and it seems to be going all right.
Real
I'm not
quick,
looking
out of
over my
character,
shoulder.
This dragon was on the prowl for a lady dragon, right? And we're here to tell him that the dragon was not a lady dragon. It was a dude dragon.
That's fine.
So I'm just asking. That's what's happening right now, right?
But it is
No,
also
the
one of
this dragon told you that there was a lady snow dragon on one of those islands.
Yeah.
Dragons,
And told us that she dipped. Like she may or may not be alive anymore.
yeah, she may or may not be alive. He hadn't heard from her, and neither had the black dragon that was sort of the go-between between him and the other dragons living here in the Isles.
Oh my gosh, there's a black messenger dragon.
Uh,
Black Korea.
it's not the. The black dragon is a messenger in the same way that Zhao Yu is a messenger. Like he's sort of the one in charge, but he's also the one going between.
He's also the one doing all the work.
He's the mailman.
He's basically Commander Shepard the dragon.
Behind that.
But yeah, I'm happy for him. We're super excited. I let him know that we're gonna go to the North Island to talk to the tree runners. I say it in Celestian. I'm just gonna make this a thing.
Okay.
What is the word in Celestian, Derek? Please tell us.
For tree runner?
Tree runner.
I don't know.
I don't even want to know.
Let me get the word generator.
Yeah, I know, right? But you can rain check that word. But I'm just gonna call them. I'm not gonna say the Celestian word. I'm just gonna say tree runners.
We understand, Stefan, but I want to know so I can write it down.
So I let him know.
Tree runner would be Shulren.
How you spell?
Okay.
Can you spell it in the chat?
I did.
Roll 20 chat.
Thing.
There we go. Shulren. So the Shulren, we're gonna go talk to them, see if we can stop the war between my people and their people. Maybe get some agreement going. I'd let him know about the millions fleeing.
Do we
Coming.
know that there are millions?
It could be. I don't know.
We
Possibly
don't
a
know.
million.
Just a whole
Lots
lot of them.
people. Yeah.
Just give him an RSS
So-
feed.
It could be.
Match.
I mean, it could be like, you know, he's off by a factor of 10 or something. Like it could be 100,000, but he just wants to make sure there's room.
Who knows? But that being said, I am going to do everything in my power to help you keep your solitude here. I'm going to make sure that the agreements that we made will be honored for forever. But I'll keep in touch when things happen. I do let him know that the female white dragon / snow dragon is probably gone. I don't know what happened to her, but her mate, we found him, talked with him, sort of have the same agreement between us that you and I do. So he seems nice enough. But yeah, I let him know where he is. He's doing fine. He is staying away from the crazy tentacle face people.
They don't have tentacle faces.
Yeah. So
They have no face.
but
Yeah, really, they have no face. They wear masks.
the no face people. But yeah, in the meantime, we're gonna go talk with these people, and I'll just keep him updated with whatever happens if he wants me to, which I'm assuming he would like.
Well, I mean, he appreciates that you're following up to tell him that the deal that you two made is still standing. You know, the solitude here is what he wants. He already agreed when the time comes and you do need him for something. You know where to find him.
Yep. Great.
Basically, you're just a real bang up guy, Jayu. I'm really glad that this is working out.
Yeah, it's great to have dragons be sucking your dick, though.
Jesus.
All right. Well, we gotta go. We got a lot of stuff to do, but I wish him well with his new home.
Well, there goes our rating.
Yeah. And we peace out. Peace the fuck out.
Yeah, well, he goes back to digging.
What time is it? Like, should we rest?
It's a million
I mean,
years.
Should Revan rest?
No.
'Cause he's still alive.
It's an hour and a half to camp. He'll be fine.
I thought it was 3. He said it was 6 hours on foot and half that by
Yeah.
horse.
So you guys will get back to town at about 11.
That was round trip time. Got it.
No, it was 6 hours to get there. You guys will get back into town about 11 p.m.
Just in time for the feast.
Feast is done.
Or for the after party.
Feast is over.
No, you guys will get back for an after party.
Sweet. That's where the real celebs show up.
Well,
Now
I mean,
we,
here comes Jayu to save the day, right?
Yeah, we party. We get the party on. I wingman the hell out of Sandre. 'Cause let's be honest, if the first scout is talking you up, I mean, he probably didn't need it anyways, but
He didn't.
it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. No doubt.
I'm expecting Sandra to do something like tell you to go away so we can talk. Like, imagine like ignoring the first scout so you can talk to a girl. That's
I do what I gotta do.
And
If he talks up to me, I'm like, you know what, you got it, man. Whatever you want. Then I leave.
Well, I mean, everybody here thinks you're a big shot, but he's watched you die, so...
Yeah, I've watched him die, sort of.
you killed him.
I mean, you didn't see it.
I didn't kill him.
So, I mean, you sort of...
I killed Erwin. Oh,
Oh, jeez.
Jesus.
Revan had to
I
tell
didn't say
you
that out
about-
loud. I didn't say that out loud.
Got awkward.
That's how you
Um,
get
Just keep adding to the
Yeah,
fire.
that's how you get killed with
I
positive
don't.
energy.
I don't like stay with Jayu like all night, but I do kind of like just keep an eye on him and like be in the general area. But mostly Nalera just kind of watches out for Revan.
That makes sense.
It's actually kind of a bummer because I can't eat. I can eat and drink, but it does nothing.
Doesn't do. Yeah, no, doesn't do anything.
I'm just doing it for the social
Wine?
aspect.
Politeness.
Just,
You do, right?
just pouring wine into your helmet through the visor.
Yeah, I enter into the drinking contest and win.
No, you have an emergency induction port.
He doesn't have lips. He never had lips. A straw is a difficult thing for him.
No. Emergency induction port. It's totally different.
Totally different. Okay. Either way.
But wait, they have blood wine though, right?
Yeah, it's the sort of specialty here.
Yeah, and Nalera gets in on that though. She totes has her fair share.
Gee, I
Like,
wonder
not-
why.
Like just enough to get like a good buzz, but like not enough to get white girl wasted.
You want some shiver?
I mean, she's black. No, she's not. No.
Do you really want to party? I start handing out shiver.
Although that one time where she had shiver, like her fortitude saves were like on point. They were higher than Irwin's.
Jesus, guys.
No, that's not true. Irwin's were higher.
Still,
Alright.
Irwin got higher.
She just says no.
Okay.
So she doesn't give in to peer pressure. She doesn't
Well, I
give
do
in to
some.
peer pressure.
Hilarious.
And then he goes and climbs all the things and makes all the athletic checks.
Okay. So, you guys have your party.
Yay.
The feast. And then the next day, the scout Leia is
Nothing
waiting
got
for you
burned
guys.
down? Nothing got burned down.
No.
Today.
What do you,
I'm asking.
these people come from a part of the world where like they didn't even used to light campfires half the time for fear that they'd be spotted. They're very careful with fire.
I'm just making sure. I appreciate that.
Only you can prevent wildfire.
Okay, we go. Pack up our stuff and we get the fuck out.
All right.
I actually also replenished some supplies while we are here. I am going to get. Excuse me. Do they have coffee there?
No.
I'm just asking.
Blood wine is the fanciest thing they have at this establishment.
I feel like soap isn't fancier than blood wine.
No.
I mean, is it Dove?
I mean, soap is just made from fat and crushed with flowers.
Do they have it?
Yeah.
Is that a yes?
Look, if
Okay,
if
then I buy two cakes of soap. And
if like 4th century like Britanno Romans can have soap, then these guys can have soap.
That's what I'm saying.
We get
Okay,
on the
so
boat and we go.
I get,
She gets her soap and we go.
wait, also rope.
For the soap?
Rope is.
But a rope.
I get soap and rope. I get 50 feet of rope.
Okay, but you don't buy the soaked rope.
There's no soap and rope connection. These are two separate purchases.
They sell. I'm telling you, they sell a combination item. He's asking if you
I
want.
appreciate that. That's not what we need.
I mean, the
That's not what
ingenuity
this.
is astounding,
That's not what
but-
we need.
When you buy soap and rope, you get 15% off on rope or soap as a separate purchase.
Okay, I get it then. I get it. Now, Larry
Okay.
buys it later.
He's
She loves the bargains.
yeah, no, and he loves to upsell because he's got to move this stock.
So now I also have soap on a rope.
Yeah.
And then rope and soap.
Yes,
Okay, great. How much does the soap on a rope weigh?
the soap on a rope weighs 1.5 pounds.
Damn, that's a lot of soap.
Well, make sure you just don't drop the soap on the rope.
Yeah,
I'll try not to.
That's what the rope is for.
yeah, it's enough rope. It's enough rope to like loop it over your shoulder like a handbag with a long.
Jesus, that's an
yeah.
excessive amount of soap on rope.
Well, you would have it like a necklace, and the rope has to be long enough that the soap could reach like your navel.
Okay.
It makes sense. And the block of soap is about 8 inches by 5 inches by 2 inches.
Is
It's
the
a
rope
block of
silk
soap.
rope, or is the rope silk rope, or is it hemp rope or something?
They do have silk rope. It's twice the normal cost because it's all that they have left of the silk rope they brought from the undersea. Hemp rope they do have, and it's the standard cost.
I buy silk rope. You said it's twice as much?
It's twice as much because they can't make more silk rope out here. They just have what's left that they brought with them.
Alright. Well, I buy 50 feet, and that's like, what, 4 gold pieces? That's what I have here.
Yeah, it's whatever it says in there, times 2.
How much was the soap on a rope?
Uh,
Sounds silly to say.
It sounds silly, but it's so useful.
Regular soap is 2 coppers.
Yeah, soap on a rope is 6 coppers.
Okay.
So put a rope better be in the actual book.
It's
Yeah, you better add that stuff now.
Yep.
My character sheet.
It's on the character sheet. It's official. All right. So now that you've got your soap on a rope and soap and a rope, you guys get on the boat that also has rope.
Does it also have soap?
It does now. All right. It's going to take. Let's see. Sailing to this island, the one that you're going to, is a little bit shorter than the distance between where you went last time, but the winds are not with you sailing south. So whereas it took 7 days to get to the other island, it's between 7 and 8 to get to this one, despite the fact that it's closer. But going the other way, it would take about 5.5.
Okay. So question, would I have been able to finish my spell by then on this shipwreck?
Yeah, I mean, you had 7 days of getting back from the island. You're here for a day or 2, and then 7 days before you'll make landfall again.
And I've been working on it since before we came the first time.
Yeah, so then that would make 3 weeks. That would make about a month, actually, between all of those combined, since you were on the island for 4 days.
Oh, this adventure is taking forever.
Alright.
It's more like a tortilla on top of another tortilla. All right.
I'll message you the spell for later.
You messaging what?
I'll message you what the spell was for later.
Okay. Steel soul. No. I mean, you're traveling with people that don't have any, and Sandre hasn't wronged you, so... Yeah.
I mean, part of the soul's already been stolen.
There you go. It's steal what's left of the soul. Alright, so you guys get back on the boat. So you're at least studying the spell for the 7 days. Stefan, I assume you heard. It takes about 7 up to 8 days to get to where you're going. Is there anything that you're setting about doing on the ship during that time, or are you just sort of relaxing?
I help the crew members.
Okay. Do you ask Scout Leyen anything during this time? I mean, he's basically your captive while you guys are on the boat together.
I mean, is there anything I should know before talking with them? Any traditional bows? Is there, yeah, I don't know.
How do I not get myself killed right away?
Also, what are some things that they want?
Appreciate?
No, what do you think their end goal would be? If I came in
probably want
trying
not
to
to die.
compromise, yeah. What's the...
Well, considering they're fleeing a great enemy, they probably want land.
Yeah, I mean, more than anything else, we need land. We need a land that we can live in.
Okay.
And these islands seemed like the best solution that we came to in the time that we had, because other than your clan here, the largest settlements out in these islands outside the capital is like 120 people.
I look at the guy and I just ask him, then why go through all the trouble of impersonating humans and Celestians if you could just basically live on these islands, which, other than the Wan Shi, are virtually uninhabited?
That's a good question.
This is exactly what you already asked him.
Like, why? Like,
Because this isn't I mean, they're familiar with with politics and what goes on with kingdoms and empires. They can't just move millions of people to these islands with the assumption that this land that is officially claimed by one empire is just going to hand it all over because they said, "Hey, we need it."
Right.
I look at Jayu and I ask him. I wasn't aware that this land was officially claimed by the Celestian Empire, which is which was the appeal for you to place your Wanji here. Like, nobody seems
Well,
to
that's the
want
only
this
reason we
land.
put them there. No, this is totally theirs.
Yeah, the Whispering Isles are officially a part of the Celestian Empire. It's just hard for them to populate it because people don't like moving to them. It's the most backwater place in the Empire, and it's hard to live because Celestians are cold-blooded creatures. So,
Oh, so like Florida, but cold.
yeah.
We're from Florida. We can say that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk to him. See what we can figure something out.
He does tell you, likely, there's a couple people that could be in command there, but likely it's going to be either as of 3 months ago, current military commander is Veus. And our geological, I honestly, I'm a scout. I don't know exactly what the title is, but he's our ecologist, and is the one that Vase is the military commander. Our ecologist is the one that came up with the seeds that I believe you're familiar with.
The ones that. Oh, I wasn't there. Never mind. That's Ming.
The ones that make the fire bears.
Yes.
Hmm?
Yeah. The seeds that sort of terraform the islands and make them warmer, but have also led to some of the local wildlife taking on certain elemental properties.
Okay.
Yeah. So Veus, one of those two, possibly both, but one of those two should be at the camp, assuming the camp is still there, because those were two of the 3 people that could be leading it, and the 2 that are most likely to still be there.
And then his name is Laid.
Liad.
Lied.
Okay.
All right.
Dope. Diggity dope.
Is or not Lied is specifically, yes, he's an ecologist, but is he specifically a mage of some sort, or is he just a scholar?
No, he's an accomplished elementalist and alterationist.
Oh, like Ming was.
Yes.
That was out of character.
Well, I mean, maybe Nalera gets to know the people that she kills, and she's like, "Oh, you mean like Target 47X?"
That actually is a lot like something Nala would do, but she wouldn't talk about it. It's like Fight Club. You don't talk about your assassinations.
She just has like a file cabinet full of her targets.
That's funny.
I mean, you don't like that's just
That's
bad
just
for business.
That's ridiculous.
rude.
That's ridiculous. She has a folder in a chest buried 6 feet underground in a graveyard in a random city with the names for all the
It's
people.
not a random city. She knows exactly where the city is.
But that's where the dossier is for all the people that she's killed in that area in, X amount of time span. You can't
Well,
put
you
all
never
your
know
files
when
in
you're
one
gonna
place,
black-
though.
Well, you never know when you're going to need to blackmail somebody either, but you certainly don't want to leave a paper trail.
Okay.
Does Sandre come with us, or is he staying with the black?
No,
the
he's
blacksmith?
going with you. He, I mean, his official
You don't
duty,
get it.
his official,
Hashtag
He
call
got-
Sandre smash.
his official duty out here that he's being paid for is to play bodyguard for Revan.
Oh.
And Ming, sort of.
Mhm.
Wait, what about me?
He was bodyguard for Ming and Revan.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then Nalera begrudgingly, well, not begrudgingly, but she basically
Took away
paid
half
him
his
that
pay,
part of the-
basically.
Yeah, it wasn't
But
begrudgingly.
remember,
She
I
did
mean,
it-
he tore half his contract off, so it's fine.
exactly.
I mean, yeah.
But then he was like, "Oh, that's okay. I'll just do half of this."
He's cutting his losses in half by tearing the contract in half. It works out.
And he doesn't even know if it's like the half that he needs.
It is
Nobody
the half
who
that
would've
he needs, because that's why he kept it.
There you go.
No, he didn't. He couldn't read it.
Ruben, your mic is a little low. I'm having trouble hearing it.
You're a little low.
That's also
Probably the reason because I was for some reason in Skype and not in Discord.
It's rude.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's a better option.
That's more better.
That's a better option.
Okay. So you guys takes about 8 days. Oh, Erwin's on that map.
You can always get another one.
Wow.
You just make
Is
it
that
worse.
full, am I right?
I mean,
I mean,
it's not like he was that helpful.
it'd be a lot easier. Honestly, it'd be a lot easier to find another one sheet. There's an island full of them.
You know what? I don't go near this argument.
It's not an
not
argument. We
having
all
this,
agree.
This is an out of character argument.
Oh, I still don't go near this.
Okay.
So we're going like 3 miles south of the.
Yep.
Way further.
When you guys reach the point along the coast where Leon thinks you're probably within 5 or 10 miles, he has the boat pull ashore and tells him to wait there.
Okay.
They should be fine here. There's a chance that a scouting party will go this far from the actual camp. It's unlikely, but obviously it's up to you as the commander to decide whether your ship should like go sail around it for a while or wait for you.
Okay. I think they should just stay here. We'll just all go. We'll just all go on foot from here. Ship
Okay.
can stay. Make haste.
Make all the haste.
There we go. That thing just did not want to line up with where I wanted to put it. Alright. So, Leon leads you. I need perception checks from each of you guys. He's the one that's sort of leading you along the coastline here. Oh no, Lara. Filling in for Sandre?
Whoop.
Ooh, that was rough. I only saw Revan's dice roll, like his actual like animation. I was like, what are you talking? Oh wait, that's green. No, Lara's too busy watching like Revan and Jayu to pay attention to her surroundings.
Sandre's eyes pierce the veil. He gets 15.
That's not bad. Go Sandra.
No, it's pretty good for him. No, the island here is close enough to the outer shore that it's covered in a thick fog. It's difficult to see very far. But you guys are close enough that you can see lights in the distance, and Leon tells you that the camp is covered in fog most of the day and night. So lights are put up to make it easier for people to get around.
I look at him and I ask him, I'm like, is it a natural fog or is it magic induced?
It's a natural fog.
Is he lying? Hold on, Streetwise.
You believe him.
I believe him.
Okay. So we just keep going.
Yeah. He tells you, there are the people in the camp here still wear the illusions of being humans or Celestians. So, with the exception of him, and he motions to Sandre, the rest of you could possibly walk in, and not immediately be seen as outsiders, but your getup with the armor and him being an orc are probably going to lead to questions. I would recommend going in without weapons drawn.
I look visibly appalled at the concept.
Well, put yourself in their shoes. You're in a camp. You're already on edge, on alert. If people come in with weapons drawn, you're more likely to shoot first and then figure out who they were later. No one's supposed to know that they're here.
I look to Jayu.
Yeah. Keep your
I sheathe my
sheathed.
weapon.
There we go.
I sheathe my weapons.
We just stroll up.
Okay. Do you want him leading, or are you guys going to go first?
I'm gonna walk alongside him. That looks the least threatening.
Okay.
And I walk behind Jayu, and like if Revan is like in that position, I walk next to Revan.
Yeah, he's behind him.
We have Sandre in back.
I mean, he's the tallest. Basically, like a choir formation, you know, like tallest in.
But they're both taller than us. We're in the middle.
Yeah, so we're well hidden. We're sneak attack.
Okay. Leyan strikes a torch and tells you, again, we're not trying to sneak up here, and coming out of the fog with the torch is what is expected.
Is Leon in his human form right now, or is he?
Yeah. Yeah, and he said everyone here would wear their illusions anyways.
Okay.
Right. I wasn't sure if he went back to normal.
Nah. Okay.
Are you seriously gonna call them Shulren?
What, the tree runners?
Yes.
I'm calling them tree runners.
Check with.
Yeah, why not?
Before you talk.
I mean, Jayu says Shoran. I say tree runners.
Do you say tree runners or do you say Shulren?
Jayu says Shoran.
There you go.
I say tree runners.
I mean, that's fair, right?
Yeah. Just like Jayu normally speaks Celestian. I do not.
Also true.
Jayu also has his life together.
Oh shit.
Does he though?
I mean, if he decided to just quit, he's in a pretty good spot.
How are things? How's business?
Oh, I'm sure it's great. I still haven't gone back yet to get paid. I'm sure there's
Yeah,
a lot of money waiting for me.
Or it burned to the ground.
No.
No, that definitely did not happen.
Nope.
It's a brothel, not a shiver den.
Sure.
He probably owns multiple now at this point. He probably is just taking it up in himself to grow the business.
Well, the business is in taking it up. I mean, but you understood that when you named it Foxy Baloney.
Are we there yet?
Alright, so he heads out. And you guys are following him?
Yep.
I don't remember what... Sandra has all these symbols on him, and I don't remember what they're for. You see Leyan. You saw it before when you were first speaking with him. He pulls out his badge of, like, his station that showed that he was a scout. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He pulls it out and holds it in his other hand, the one that he's not holding the torch in, and sort of keeps it up slightly higher than chest level, like on display. And it glints in the torchlight. So it's if someone looks at him, they're going to see it first because the light is reflecting off of it.
Okay.
All right. As you guys stroll into camp, you start passing by large tent structures. You can see them. You can see some of the lights. There's large lanterns hanging from some of the trees here, illuminating the camp in the fog. The tents are huge. They're tarps, but I mean they're tarp tents, but some of them are 30 feet long, if not larger than that. So it's like you said, it's a temporary base, but it's still fairly large for being something that could just be picked up and moved. Can I get perception checks from you guys as you wander into camp?
Say that again?
Perception checks as you guys are wandering into camp.
Oh, yeah.
I am not perceptive at all.
Okay. So Revan and Jiao, both of you see every once in a while sort of people at the edge of the light moving about in the camp. No one has stopped no one has tried to stop you yet.
Okay.
And you haven't seen any of them directly, but it looks like Celestians walking by. There aren't any Celestians here, though.
Okay. You keep just following Liam.
Okay. Leyan walks up and gets the attention of one of the other scouts here. And begins speaking in a language you don't understand with the guy.
I turned my thing on.
Okay. He's asking him who's on staff right now, like who is in command at the moment. And the guy replies to him that Lied is in command, Veus is out.
Okay.
And he says he's got a report for Veus or a report for Lied, and he's going to want to hear it. And could he go get him? So the guy leaves, and then Leyan turns to you and basically tells you everything he just said because he doesn't realize I don't think that you did you use the necklace with him?
I did.
Because he speaks Celestian and human.
Right. Okay, I turn it off at this point, knowing that he's not going to be a liar.
Yeah, but he tells you the ecologist is in command here right now. The commander appears to be out. He should come and meet with us, but please be respectful.
Of course.
He's a very important person for those of us that are here, and for millions that aren't.
All right, I kill him. I'm just kidding.
Dear, did you see my message in Discord?
Yeah. Is it not?
Further south.
It's set, right?
Farther south.
Okay.
Okay. It's getting warm in here now.
All right. You see a man. He's wearing a very regal, heavy-looking wool cloak. It's blue. And his visage is that of a human male, probably in his late 30s, early 40s.
I thought you were up front.
Oh, I should be up front.
And you know that what you're seeing is probably not him. You know what I'm saying? Like that there's an illusion, but you get the impression from looking at him that this is someone that is of higher station and at the same time looks like someone that's probably worked with his hands. there's a certain like there are. He looks young-ish, but there are brow lines and there's signs of age showing on him.
Okay. I asked Leon if there's any formal greeting that I should do.
Just be respectful. Bow when you speak with him.
Okay. I step up and I bow, and I state my name and title.
Okay. You tell me like how exactly do you spell this out for him? Because he walks up expecting to speak to Leon,
Okay.
and then Leon tells him like, I have someone here who needs to talk with you.
Okay. Yeah, after they have that little discourse, I step up and I'm using the thing. I'm just trying to talk in their tongue because I think that'd be cooler. And I bow. I tell them my name is Xiaoyu Saiwang. I'm the first scout for the Celestian Empire, and I've come to see if we could be of assistance to you. And then I just leave it there for a second. See what questions he has.
Speech check from you.
Boom, baby, baby, baby. This is where the good number comes.
Oh shit! Natch.
Uh.
Did it not
And he
roll?
drops 2.
Did it not roll the 20 there on the screen? I didn't see it.
Oh no, I don't have the what's it called on.
Okay, whatever. Still, natural 20 is fantastic, and oddly enough, he reaches up and sort of strokes his beard a bit.
How majestic is his beard?
He looks like like I said, he looks like someone took a lumberjack and wrapped him in nice clothes.
Does he
Wrapped
hunt his
him.
own tacos?
In degrees.
I mean, he does make his own chairs.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I respect that.
he builds his own furniture. I mean, he could build, he could make his own house. You could live there. A crib
Did
for
we
the
lose
baby.
Revan?
We did lose
Oh,
Revan.
he said BRB a little bit ago, but it's been a bit.
Jeez, I feel bad. I didn't notice.
It's been 8 minutes. 9 minutes.
I'm sure something is. I'm sure he's not just. He's making plans to murder you guys offline.
Shut your mouth.
All right. Either way,
I gotta step away for just a second.
It's perfect.
as
Just me.
Nalera and Revan speak to each other on the phone, making their secret plans to kill Zhao Yu.
Yep.
All right. He holds out his hand and asks, "What is it? What can I do for you that the Empire would send an official representative to speak with me?"
I hear that him and his people are in dire straits, and I've come to hopefully have you seek counsel or some representative to seek counsel with the Celestians so we can help find your people a place in these trying times. I recently just met with the prince. We know mostly about, I guess, mostly about what's going on for you guys and the troubles that are going. Obviously, nothing's official and no decisions have been made, but I'd like to help sooner than later for your sake and ours with all of the wars going on. I'd leave it there.
All right. He seems to take this and considers it for a moment. He waves off some of the guys that have walked up with him. And asks if you'd like to to come and sit down and speak of this.
Of course.
All right. So he just goes to one of the nearby tents and has the guards stationed outside.
Back. Sorry, I'm like dying over here.
Yeah. All right. But he invites you in and anyone else that's here with you.
Okay.
Oh. Where'd I go? Oh, there.
Take a seat.
Yep. You notice the things here in the tent. There's nothing overly fancy. There's what looks like an alchemy set in one side of it. The rest are mostly wooden furniture and tables that all look fairly sturdy. There's no like gilding or special carvings on it. But he uncorks a bottle of what appears to be wine and pours it out into.
Is it blood wine? Can I tell?
It doesn't.
Blood wine is
Blood wine is a Celestian thing.
I don't know their life.
Humans.
I
Is
think
it blood wine? Can I
Nalera would know that.
Yeah, I would know it. I would smell that shit. Is it blood wine?
It is not blood wine. It's a port.
Wine.
No, but he pours it out and he offers a glass to anyone in your party that asks for it or that wants some.
Sure.
Sandre definitely saunters in and takes a glass of wine in a stein.
If it's not blood wine, I don't want it. I don't say that, but like.
I just offer Nalera some blood wine from my pack because I know that she wouldn't want it. I just hand her the bottle.
If it ain't God blood, I don't want none, bud.
Is it corked?
Yeah.
Well, did you get like? I don't have a fucking corkscrew, man.
Gross. Does she lick the cork?
Huh? I just break the top off and I hand it to her. I'm just kidding.
I drink it.
Yeah.
I do.
Well, I gotta drink all of it now. Don't want it to go to waste. No, but
Basically, that's what happens.
he motions for you guys to sit down.
Yeah.
And he asks you, obviously you have me at somewhat of a disadvantage here. How much do you know of our situation?
I let him know of the snake people. I let him know that you have essentially an entire civilization looking for refuge. Your people basically only finding anything but trouble here right now between the wildlife and the other inhabitants. That's about it.
It's not an easy way that we've been making for ourselves, but it was voted upon. He says, seemingly with like some disdain, but it was voted upon and decided that it was the best way to proceed forward, at least initially.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But that's why I'm here.
And why Ming is dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so you gave your
I don't
titles.
say that.
You gave your
Yeah.
titles, but he doesn't necessarily know what they mean because he's not Celestian.
Yeah, I explained to him who the first scout is, and that while my position isn't one of necessarily a political standpoint, that I still have power to help him, him or just a representative for his people to seek discourse with the Celestian community and council. I actually have written and verbal communication from the prince himself to the throne that anything that I say goes, or at least shall be heard in front of a council. So, if you were to find aid of another group of people, I would be the one who would help you do it.
All right. Well, you already know more or less what we want. What is it that you want?
I take a sip, and then I tell him about the war with the orcs.
Oh, are we sipping these?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter to me. I could down the whole thing. It wasn't.
He could
but I
down the
said-
whole thing, but he doesn't want to make a mess of the chair he's sitting
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. I just pour it on my head. Osmosis. That's how it works, right? No. So, well, your aid may not be immediate. There's obvious benefits to our civilization gaining a direct ally. Wherever you're located, it would be seen as an extension. I think that could be beneficial to both groups. Again, I don't speak for the entire council, so I can't tell you what exactly we would need, but I would imagine that if the Celestian people as a whole were ever in need of help from another group of people, helping you now would be the favor for that in the near future. But I don't know exactly what you guys would do. I can't speak for the entire group. I'm not even sure what the council would say. Like I said, I'm just here to at least hopefully have the chance to have a discussion with them. Me personally, I just want what's best for everybody. My people who are humans in the land south of here, and I kind of like draw like a map in air.
I produce my map and hand it to
Yeah.
Jayu.
I show her. I obviously want peace in this immediate area. Some of my people and
But
my
fuck the rest of this.
some of my people have been finding trouble, and I apologize for what I've done to your people, but it was necessary at the time. We were not outwardly aggressive at any point. But if we could find an agreement sooner to make this area a safer place for all of us, and then we can help you guys go start a discussion with the council. We can figure it all out after the fact. I'll roll.
Okay.
Boom.
Boom.
Oh man,
It's still pretty
I'm on
good.
fire.
You're on fire today. I get the impression that and he doesn't say this overly loud, but I get the impression that you also perhaps do not trust the humans.
Oh no. Oh yeah.
In,
As he says
in a
that, I
in a
laugh.
general sense.
I hear
Yeah.
that shit, right?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Doesn't
well,
mean all humans are terrible.
no,
But
I mean,
Oh.
I'm terrible. I'm just asking if I hear.
no. Obviously, all humans are not terrible, but
no, I agree.
I've
I
read the
let him know-
histories of the human cities and their strange merchant-run governments. Like, you get the notion of like republics and whatnot is not something
Yeah.
that he's used to. That merchants,
Capitalism.
yeah, that merchants would be in charge of things is a weird thing. But there's constant warfare between those states, and the feudal states that border them are not much better.
Yeah. Money rules for the humans.
Yes. And when money rules, trust is cheap.
Yeah. No.
I'm just over here like.
Yeah.
Well, well, he's not wrong.
Yeah. I let
Look,
him know
I make maps. I don't.
the coming. You also kill people for money.
What?
That's okay.
Look-
That's fine.
You don't even.
Look, I
I
get.
mean, some Celestians do that.
Oh.
There's
Look,
plenty of Celestians who do that.
I think Nolaire's argument would be that 35 platinum isn't cheap.
Yeah. You don't kill anyone, but you would if the price was right.
Yeah.
She's
So
honest.
I let him know of
Yeah.
the impending war between, or at least what I think is an impending war between the humans and everyone, if they were to gain control of the dragons, and they would use
Revan,
them
you're
as
there
war.
on audio, right?
I don't know if he is.
He said he was.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I let him know about, them trying to take control of the dragons and things like that. I also let him know that I have agreement with at least two dragons in this area, that
He
if we
said
were to need aid, they would aid me directly. Not necessarily my people, but me. So, uh, we could certainly at least use that to help your people while they move. But I don't know about a permanent place yet. That's not for me to decide.
Well, I'll tell you this. The humans I don't trust any further than I could pay them to move, but
Give me just a second.
but they're far more trustworthy, or at least malleable to um, negotiations than the intermediaries that we've had dealings with to get where we are.
Okay.
I don't know that you know much of those in between.
I don't think I do.
We we colloquially refer to them as dark jailers.
Oh yeah, those people.
They live in the land of ice between where my people live and here, and it's they that have made it possible for us to come here in the first place. But I fear that the price that we've paid to them is already too high, and that we haven't truly bought their assistance, just uh, an opportunity to entertain them.
I do actually speak up then, um, and I tell him I just say I'm like they certainly don't seem to show any favoritism to your kind.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I don't like them.
They seem to be entirely self-serving, and who knows what it is that they want.
Puppets. Cute ones.
And after that, I kind of just like look back down and just listen to the conversation.
Um. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to figure out something about them. I have no idea. They're terrifying. Uh.
Alright, so my people need this land here. Let, let's be let's be honest one with another. Uh, my people need land. These islands would possibly suffice. Um, I know also that your empire has vast tracts of land in its northern reaches that, even on the mainland, are very thinly populated.
Revan has teleported outside. Like he doesn't give a shit. Apparently, like he has no interest in it since it doesn't directly concern him.
That's fine. I mean, he doesn't want to listen to people talk shit about humans, anyways.
I don't know if that's true. I think it's more of a complete apathy.
You know, hey, whatever you know, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I think the lands north would actually be the best. Um. But again, not my decision to make at this time. But we can certainly work something out. Does he have someone here, or at least, you know, coming that could speak to the council? Would it be him, or how would that go if I could bring a group of people, or a person to speak for as a representative for your civilization as a whole?
I could speak for my people.
Okay.
I hold the necessary status here.
I could certainly, we could go with you, or we could send you with a small group of soldiers while your men here prepare for your people to come. I'm not sure how you would like to do it, but I'd be more than happy to assist you in any way.
Nalera just kind of like walks outside right now, and then just kind of like starts patrolling. She doesn't like pull out a weapon or anything like that, but she does start kind of like just walking around the tent and keeping an eye out. Should I roll a perception check for that?
Does she take her blood wine with her?
Absolutely.
Then no perception check. She's not paying enough attention. I'll let you know when the bottle's empty. How about that?
Teamwork, I like it.
Okay. I would be willing to meet with someone, but it would need to be someone, no offense to yourself, with whom real terms came to.
Of course.
Who I don't know that you ever told me who gives you the authority to speak on their behalf.
The prince to the throne of the empire.
That would be sufficient. Could you arrange some sort of meeting between he and I?
Unlikely. Well, in the empire, yes. If you went to the empire, yes. Out here, unlikely. He just left.
Okay. You say this, he looks around for a minute, and one of his guards from outside actually doesn't come in, but clearly is listening from outside, and sort of opens the tent flap. He looks in. He looks nervous at the idea.
Is the tent open too?
What?
Like both sides of this tent are open?
Yeah, both sides of the tent open. They're two flap doors.
Oh, well shit, if I knew that, I wouldn't have gone outside.
Yeah.
I would just looked. Just seen.
Yeah, but no, he looks like nervously to Lied here. I would be willing
Come
to
back inside.
I would be willing to go and meet with him, assuming that I could at least bring my own guard with me. Not
Sure.
many, but enough that they would feel safe about me leaving.
No doubt. That's fine with me. I have no qualms with that whatsoever.
Amongst your people, how do you sign a pact? An agreement so that both parties know that they are being honest with one another.
In blood, sir.
They shake tails.
That would be difficult for her.
I don't say that. I just
A proper circle jerk. No, in blood.
Would you do this with me?
I look at my hand and I kind of smile and I say, we could try. I don't know what blood is left, but I'll give it my all. Can I can't even take like my gauntlet off, can I?
No, it's fused to the arm, the arm guards.
What part of my body is actually showing skin, if any at all?
The only part of your body that shows like any scales or skin at this point would be between the articulating joints on your boots or on the plating that covers your tail.
Okay.
I just kind of like walk over and offer like Jayu the hilt of one of my daggers.
No,
Like so
I've
that
got
he
my
can
own.
do it.
I've got
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I let him know that I'm of an ancient line that no longer bleeds too much, but we'll give it a go. And I kind of like reach into my butt. No, I curl my tail. I curl my tail around and I try to cut like the tip of my tail somewhere, with one of my daggers.
Okay.
Where did you get daggers?
I always have daggers. They're cheap.
Yeah,
And you can use
he's
them
had
for war.
daggers long before he ever had a sword.
Yeah, it's true.
Got it.
I'd use my sword.
Make
but that's not my fish.
make 3 anima checks. This is just literally you like searching for what's left of blood.
Hey.
Oh no, okay, that's good enough. You find enough blood to get like 5 or 6 solid drops of it onto your gauntlet. Do you hand Lied the dagger that you cut yourself with, or what?
Nope.
Okay. He pulls a a short-edged blade out of one of the nearby. I would try to say trunk and chest at the same time, but no. Out of one of the nearby trunks, and cuts himself along the thumb of his left hand, and then sort of like puts his, like, he's not sure what the exact ritual is with you. Do you extend like a gauntleted mail? Do you?
Yeah, I put my hand out and I say blood of my blood,
All right.
and then I look at him.
Does he have to eat it? Like eat or drink?
No, we're
like
shaking hands.
I thought that was a Wan Shi thing like that. Do the blood of my blood thing.
It is a one sheet thing, but he's going to be the blood of my blood for right now.
right,
Is he okay with this?
He shakes.
Yeah.
He shakes your. He has a heavy like leather gauntleted hand, and he shakes your hand, and he says, "By leaf and by stream."
Perfect.
Given the situation that we find ourselves in now, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you. Our operations here in the islands have been fairly extensive in the past few years.
Okay.
While there have been those of us for a time now that have pushed for or sought out more diplomatic solutions, our dealings with the humans have mostly jaded us against such things, and our lack of any sort of official diplomatic representation to your people has made it difficult as well.
Okay.
As you know, there's only one proper city out here in these islands of yours.
Mine.
Huh?
Mine?
No, the capital. There's the capital
Oh,
here
oh,
has about a population of about 15,000 people, which is dwarfed by most other cities in the empire. But it is the staging ground for the entirety of the Northeast fleet for the Silesian Empire. Like, it's just in a position, it's off the mainland, it's protectively within Silesian territory as far as humans and the like would be concerned. For some time, plans have been going ahead for us to cripple this settlement.
Ooh, that would be a bad idea.
That would be bad. And as a show of good faith for the agreement that we've come to move forward and attempt to forge a peace between our people, I will tell you this. In roughly 2 weeks' time, 2.5 perhaps, a fleet of human corsairs and what orcish mercenaries that could be scrounged up are set to attack the city from the ocean. Meanwhile, those dragons which have struck personal deals with the jailers are set to make their move against it at the same time and burn the fleet in the port where it sits before it can get out to deal with the corsairs.
Okay.
I can send right now some of my people on the fastest ships that we can spare to go speak with those agents and scouts and the like that we have with the group that is going overland with the dragons and attempt to slow them or stop them. But the humans are mostly in this for revenge and plunder, and the orcs are in it because of the war that your people and theirs are currently fighting.
Okay.
At this point, no word from myself, especially given that, as you understand it, I'm not truly human, and they believe I am. No word from myself is going to stop them the same way that my word could stop my own people. He pulls out the map. I assume it was never put away, but he sort
It
of
was never put away.
he pulls the map.
I left and then
Yeah, he pulls the map forward that Nalair had put down, and motions.
Okay.
Oh, dang, it's not even on that one. On the western shore of the major island here is a small peninsula, more of an alcove, with one of your settlements that, at the best of times, has barely 100 people. The human corsairs and their orcish raiders have taken over this settlement and are set up to strike at the capital from that point. I can afford you one of our ships if yours will not get you there on time. But like I said, these humans and orcs are unlikely to stop at this point just because I asked them to.
But the dragons?
The dragons are another matter. Their agreements are not with us per se. Any
many are there?
any agreements with the dragons are made with the jailers.
I ask how many dragons there are besides the 2 that I've met with.
And I speak up then and I said I would and ask politely if he would also indicate where they may be on the map.
All right. He says that the Great Black Dragon is in charge. The Snow Dragon from the northeasternmost isle, the female Snow Dragon from this island, and another Black Dragon that lived upon the island here, at least, are set to move with what representation the jailers have sent overland to the city. Again, my people have an agreement with the jailers. I don't know that they would respect my authority. My people amongst them certainly would, but the jailers themselves are another story.
How much, you said
I
it
don't seem
will
to
happen in
expect
2
anything.
weeks, 2.5 weeks?
The attack should begin in roughly 2.5 weeks' time.
If I had one of your fastest ships, I point to the 2 islands, the one with the white dragon that I've met with and the blue dragon that I've met with. How long would it take me to get to those independently?
To get to the island with the black dragon would be about 5 days travel. To get to the one that you guys just sailed from would be roughly 11 days, probably, possibly 10. To get back to the location that he tells you as far as the human corsairs is just about 2.5 weeks' time, possibly shorter if the wind is good, from here.
You said 2.5 days?
2.5 weeks. It's it's a 16 to 19 day trip, depending on how well the wind is with you from here.
Okay.
But given the agreement that we're trying to reach here, I'm more than willing to put you in charge of one of our ships with the requisite crew to get you there in as timely a manner as possible.
If I could have you send representatives to the white dragon that I've met with, could you have someone speak on my behalf to him? I believe that I don't think that we can have the I don't think we could convince the dragons, myself or yourself, the ones that I haven't spoken to, but I believe the ones that I've spoken to can convince the other dragons. Tell me, are the humans and the orcs? Do you have any sort of agreement with them that is non-monetary? If they were lost, would it be okay?
No, we're not. No, we're not even paying them. We've just provided them with ships and weapons and the opportunity for raiding.
Okay.
As I said, I've got no love for them.
Okay. My idea here is we speak with the 2 dragons that I've met with. We have them fly out to the other dragons at haste to convince them to attack the humans and orcs. They can also kill the jailers and kind of free themselves from that bullshit. But if we can get to them soon enough, they should be able to find the others with a map, and they can all fly together. Really, truly, would probably only take 1 or 2 dragons to finish up the humans and orcs. But
Nalera kind of like frowns at Stefan and at the guy and
At
just kind of
Xiaoyu.
like no, yes, at Xiaoyu, sorry, yeah, at Xiaoyu and then the guy, and just says, it seems like this alliance between you is making it unsafe to be human. Like, she just says it out loud.
oh well, you're fine with me. That's fine.
Yes, but would I be fine with them?
Yeah,
Looks at him and says,
you'll be fine.
you know, she looks at the guy then. It's like, whatever deals that you have with him, me. She just asks flat out because she is all about not dying. She admits it freely. She says, "I have little love of the human republics. I go where the money is, and or Blade. That's me. But I would seek the same safe passage as Xiaoyu."
She is with you, I assume?
Yeah.
Then that's none of my concern.
Yeah, you're fine. Just you're not gonna leave my side anyways because I'm your ticket for money. So,
The guy, Lied chuckles at this. It's very human.
yeah, that's all right. She has her place, and I appreciate her for it. So,
I don't laugh in character.
no, but my idea here is that if the dragons were to meet the other 2, I know there's 3 that I haven't spoken to. Maybe I could go to the black dragon. But if the blue dragon and the white dragon go meet with the other white dragon and the smaller black dragon, agree and hopefully agree with them to not ride against the Celestians, because they owe me a favor. They would all ride together against the humans and orcs, wipe them out. They're gone. The dragons are no longer a problem. The jailers are no longer a problem. And then I'll meet with the black dragon and see what we can do. At the very least, I'll stall him. Do you think we could do that in a reasonable amount of time?
What could you give to one of my people that the dragons would accept as them speaking on your behalf?
Oh. Really, all your people have to do is meet with my people for the blue one. For the blue one, meet with my people, have my people meet with the dragon, and just relay my message. That one will be fine. For the white dragon, I pull out my acid sword, and I hand it to him, and I say, the white dragon will be familiar with this blade, as it's sort of the means to the deal that we struck. But show him the blade, and talk to him about me and the deal that we struck, and that should be enough.
Alright, I'm certainly willing to send people at this attempt. What if the dragons are unwilling to move against the humans and the orcs? Are you willing to take that chance, or do you still want to ship to go deal with them yourself?
Should I deal with the humans or should I deal with the dragon? What I don't want is the dragons to go to the ports. The Celestian fleet would be fine against a small fleet of humans and orcs. What they wouldn't be fine against is the dragons. So
I
I
look
would.
at you, and
Yeah.
I just say, if it would help, the dragon would recognize me as your assistant.
We could do that. I don't really like it.
No, trust me, I don't like the idea of you leaving my sight either.
Or Sandre could go. Or Revan.
We all look at. Don't you dare send Revan. That's the worst thing you've ever had.
Yeah.
Would you trust? Like it sounds. I kind of like lower my voice. I'm like, would you trust Sandra to be smart enough to do this?
Yeah. Well, out of game, I just don't want to split up the group. But at the same time, it would actually help quite a bit in game.
Yeah.
No, because Sandre was the one in the room with me when it happened. So Sandre should be the one who goes.
Sandre's
I was
also
the one that got Revan.
isn't Sandre is also the one that
He traded with him.
struck a deal with him and then finalized that deal by burying the axe into the Droglin. That
Yeah.
Yeah.
you think the dragon and him are on good
and
terms?
the dragon told him to GTFO.
Yeah. They're not on great terms, but we are.
Sandre won't leave unless Revan goes, because he's not.
Oh no, I don't want those two to go.
Because Sandre's job out here is to. The half of Sandre's job that still exists is to make sure that Revan is alive when all this is said and done.
It's your best
And
option.
he might not be smart, but he does know that. Strong chain requires strong links.
We could send the two of them.
Could one of your people go as representative?
Well, I'm thinking the two of them. Oh, well, no, they probably wouldn't survive.
They're also too far away.
It's a very treacherous journey. That's the worst idea ever. Okay, so they're not gonna go.
Yeah, Revan's even saying he straight up.
Are there any other lizard people?
I just look at him realistically. I'm like,
got it.
Jayu, it is in my best interest to help you.
Right. We're gonna send one of your people as a liaison for me, because they're the only ones who look Celestian.
Okay.
Who's to say that dragons can't see through the illusion?
Well, they'll at least see that they're trying.
Because that seems trustworthy.
Yeah. Blacklist kill him. Wow. Okay, we'll do that. We'll send your people with my sword.
Blacklist, kill him.
White Dragon Blacklist.
Yeah. As for the blue dragon, just send people to talk with my people, and they will deliver the message themselves to the blue dragon. And then we will go speak with the Black Dragon. I trust that the dragons would do this, and I believe that they know that the jailers are not their friends. The White Dragon certainly does. Nah, both of them do. So I think as anyone to speak to the dragons, the other two who have dealt in that situation are the best liaisons for this.
Have you spoken with the Black Dragon before?
I have not.
This is Lied asking you.
I have not met with him.
Because he is well and truly a creature of the jailers at this point.
Yeah, I figured as much.
If you go to speak with him,
How do you know that?
if you go to speak with him, you won't be speaking with him. You'll be speaking with the jailer.
Yep, we could do that. That's the Black Dragon that we lost from the ruins.
You mean the one that tried to attack? No, that one got
That's
murdered.
the one that attacked the city. No.
Is
it's
it?
the same, it's the same one. That's the only one that would do it.
Let's murder it.
I mean, think about it. It's commanded by somebody else. It's a giant black dragon.
That dragon's commanded by humans, though, isn't it? Didn't the Red Wizard lay claim over that one? The human?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. They left a note. Okay. Well, we're gonna go talk to the black dragon.
Then they left a very convenient note.
We're gonna speak with our swords and our bows and our axes.
You're literally speaking with your sword by giving it as a diplomatic symbol.
Yeah. All right. We'll do it. I need your 3 fastest ships.
Just the guy, he's used to command, and so he wanted to point out to you, if you do this, the ships that go to meet with the dragons, by the time you get to where the Black Dragon and the jailer and the Droglin and my people are waiting on the main island, the boat will have barely even reached the Snow Dragon's island. They won't be there in time to assist you. You should know that. Logistically, they will not make it there in time unless you stagger your arrival.
Wait a minute. So, you mean them meeting the white dragon will happen after me going to talk with the black dragon?
Correct. So if the white dragon, if the other dragons are already there with the black dragon, and it's possible that they are, you'll get there before the other dragons do, because of the distance that you'll be traveling versus the distance that your messengers will be traveling. So
maybe the blue dragon will give you a ride.
So if things go south, you'll be there possibly with 3 dragons and a jailer. Even if if you go there and my people stand down, it'll still be that and whatever Droglin they have with them.
Do you think the dragons would not attack if the humans and the orcs don't sail?
The humans and the orcs hitting the harbor is supposed to be the go sign for the dragons.
All right. Different plan. They're still gonna do that. We're heading to the humans.
I look at him like he just lost his mind. What?
Nope. We're heading to the humans.
If
Why?
Humans and orcs?
assume
How many humans
if
and orcs are there?
if the Corsair fleet never shows up in the harbor, I don't know what the dragons would do, but the attack on the city from the harbor is supposed to be the sign that we've given them to attack, because as mighty as dragons are, they're not invulnerable, and they're not frontline soldiers.
Ah, here we go.
And how do you propose that we stop the humans, pray
I've
tell?
got it. We take 2 dragons. All right, new plan. We get the 2 dragons. We meet up, and then we kill and we take your men and we kill the army, and my men, we kill the people.
How are you going to get 2 dragons and make it in time to the Corsairs when you would barely make it there in time already?
How long would it take for me to get to the White Dragon, and then from the White Dragon to get to the fleet of people?
The white dragon you've already spoken with, the snow dragon? It would take 10 or 11 days to get to the snow dragon, and then you're looking at probably a 3 to 3.5 week trip by boat to get to where the dragons are set up on the main island, or a 4.5 week trip to get to where the Corsairs are, which would put you 2 weeks
How long would
behind
it
their
take for
sailing
a
date.
dragon to fly that? Less time, right? Because of the wind?
Probably a quarter of the time, but it would still put you there half a week to a week after the fact.
Son of a bitch.
Realistically, like Nalera speaks then like very like matter of factly. We could always sneak to the human armament and
It's possible.
She just says it like matter of factly, like it would be an option. Like if they have no commander, they won't set sail. Like it would be a sneak job. It is an option.
It's possible that this human makes a good point. That as cowardly as they are, if you
She frowns at that.
if you struck a blow against the humans or the orcs, more the humans than the orcs, before they set sail for the Whispering Shore, they might not sail at all if you hit them hard enough. They might simply go home.
What if we meet? How long would it take to meet the Blue Dragon and get the Blue Dragon to them?
Sailing to the Blue Dragon, it took you guys 7 days to get here. It would take, on their ship, probably 4 days to get back. But then you still are not going to make it in time by boat to where the Corsairs are.
But we can send word to him and have him meet us.
Yes.
That's what we'll do.
So you're sending word that the Blue Dragon should show up to where the Corsairs are?
Yes. No, well, in the general area. He's going to meet us. We'll figure it out on the map. He'll meet us somewhere, like on the map. And then he'll throw some lightning bolts down.
Who's gonna be your messenger? The Blue Dragon doesn't trust anybody except you and your Wan Shi.
Well, the Wan Shi. His people are gonna meet with the Wan Shi, and then the Wan Shi are gonna meet with him.
And the Wan Shi are gonna believe his people?
Yeah, I'll send... Dude, I can send a million different things with me that they'll believe.
She just kind of does one of these, like, okay.
Yeah, no, that'll be fine. And then we'll ride there. So the plan is, Dragon will swoop in, cause a whole bunch of ruckus, destroy some boats, fly the hell out before he takes too much damage. In the meantime, my sneak smith over here, and I point to Nalera, is going to murder the most important person. We'll figure out who that is.
The most important person.
Important person.
While chaos is ensuing, it's much easier to do.
Exactly.
What?
Exactly. You've got it exactly right.
It would be much easier to do without...
So you might do it before. And then he will also shoot lightning. You punch him in the dick and then the balls. The 1-2.
Why not lightning?
Listen, if we can figure out who...
Not to be hilarious, but this seems like overkill.
That's what I need. I need to make sure they don't sail. If you can find out who to kill before that, and then he shoots lightning at them too, there's no way they're gonna leave. And that's what we want.
I look at the not human duder, and I just say, I'm like, Anders.
What'd you say? Your mic cut out.
Oh, I look at the not human guy and I ask him. I say, what do you know of their commanders and their command structure?
I'm gonna go bathroom real quick.
The Corsairs choose lots, and have their own captains for each and every ship. They might have a leader amongst them, depending on who, I don't know, has the most swagger. As I said, they're somewhat cowardly, but unafraid to draw blood. The orcs, however, most definitively have a commander.
Do you know if the orcs would sail without the humans?
The orcs can't sail without the humans. They're sailing on human
Okay.
ships.
I thought that the Corsairs have their own captains of each. You personally had dealings with in these Corsairs.
Has he?
Yeah.
No. No, I mean he's mostly he's one of the commanders here, and I'm mostly in charge of the ecological transformation of these islands.
How many ships do the Corsairs have? How many individual captains are we looking at?
A dozen, maybe slightly more. Each ship carrying something between 15 and 30 men. It doesn't sound like much, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, their job is just to create a distraction long enough for the dragons to attack and create chaos.
Absolutely.
Plus, if the Corsairs draw the guard in the city to the port, the Droglim will have no issue swarming over the walls and into the city proper. Anyone familiar with the events at Blackstone surely knows what that would look like.
And I just kind of look at him, and then I just say honestly, and I'm like, and after all of this planning, after all of this careful subterfuge, this is what you want. After speaking with Jayu, you want to stop on all of this and do whatever you can to facilitate your agreement with Jayu.
Well, if stopping this from going ahead saves the life of even one of my men currently out in the field, I would do it.
And I say straight out, and you know that by doing this, you're making enemies, if not of the orcish people, at least openly making enemies of humans.
The orcish people don't have their own ships. I do not fear them.
And the rudderless humans. People.
From my dealings, my indirect dealings with them, these islands are not quite the prize that they thirst for. They want the rich lands in the inner sea. They don't want these islands. Only the capital provides enough wealth to make it worth their while.
Jayu, I'm not sure if Stefan can hear me now. I know he ran away. I just kind of look to Jayu and I say, I'm like, look, I am willing to move forward with this and to take out at least a dozen ship captains. If there doesn't happen to be one single commander of this fleet, of these Corsairs. This is a military structure that I'm just not familiar with. I haven't had to infiltrate it before, and it's never really applied to any of my past jobs, so I just wouldn't know. But I'm more than willing to take the risk, and before the Blue Dragon gets there, even if we have to, I'll do it. I'll do whatever it takes. But that means me.
I'm back.
Own people, but on potential contracts, and I just need to know that, given that situation, that I'm going to be protected.
Wait, are you asking the commander here? I thought you were speaking to Zhao Yu.
I'm talking to both of them. I'm looking back and forth between the two of them because.
What are you asking me?
ultimately this is their alliance, and I was saying, I don't know if you heard,
I did not.
the Corsairs' military structure and stuff like that, and how if they even have like what their chain of command is, and basically he said that the Corsairs have captain is basically the leader of his own ship. He doesn't know if there's a leader of all the ships, and there's 12, potentially a dozen or more ships. And Nalair is saying, look, I'm more than willing to like go ahead, and if I have to, like, hold 12 plus of these captains if there isn't one specific leader. But by doing so, I'm not only potentially making myself known as an enemy to my people, but I am making myself an enemy to my people. And I get that in this event, that I'm going to be protected.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine.
Well, thank you, Jayu. I appreciate that. And
You're welcome.
I look to homeboy over here. I look to Mr. Not Human, and say, and yeah, you too, man.
If you're acting on behalf of my people or his, then you and I have no bad blood between us.
I hold out. Do one of these, like, cakes. Because for realsies, she means it.
He, again, the same way that he didn't quite know what to do with Zhao Yu's hand embrace at first. He meets you mostly halfway, and once he sort of recognizes what you're going for, follows through on it with the arm grip, but clearly is still a little out of his depth with it. It seems strange to him. You're not sure what exactly he would do, like, in his lands.
Right, I show him, like, I take the lead, as it were, and I grasp him by the wrist, and just do a firm, like, shake. Like, nothing threatening, just firm.
Alright, and he adds a nod, something that he saw one of the humans do.
Hey.
I do the same.
But it's the up nod, like
your friends. Oh, don't show your neck.
Like, he goes up, I go down. Like, it's weird. He's like this, I'm like, oh, but like, there's confusion. No, I'm just kidding.
well, now it's weird.
Now it's weird.
Okay.
Alright. As a reminder, he can send one of his ships to your island, but he assumedly you came here on a ship.
Yeah, they can go back. That's fine.
I mean, one of my ships would make it there about a day faster than yours would, but
That doesn't matter.
but your ship is full of people that likely would be taken at their word without any outward symbol as representing you.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
Sucks that we can't. I'll just have to get the white dragon to do me a solid. Wish I knew this information earlier.
You mean before we traveled for
Yeah.
a week?
Wish I knew it as I was meeting all these.
We both look at Lied.
dragons.
We both look at Lied like this.
I don't do that. Because first of all, there's just darkness in my eyes.
Well, there's just darkness in my eyes too, but I'm not wearing a helmet.
There's not somebody else's blood in your eyes?
I mean, not right now.
Yeah. Alright. He asks, as we've, more or less come to an agreement here, what you would have him do. Obviously he's going to send a ship to his people on the main island, and one to the White Dragon, the Snow Dragon, on your behalf. When it's all said and done, in 2.5 to 3 weeks' time, what should he do as far as getting in touch with you?
Oh, that's a good idea.
He's taking a big risk. Obviously, the plans for this have been laid down for months, if not years, and he's given all the information away to you in an attempt to
Right.
lessen the blow as much as possible. But he's wanting to know, how are we going to follow up on this after the fact?
Lied. Send Lied to the Wan Shi.
Yeah. What if, well, I'm thinking maybe they could sail towards the harbor. That way, if the humans still do ride in there, they can flank them.
And you can give me some sort of promise that the forces within the capital are not going
Can
to.
Revan hear everything that we're discussing from outside? Probably should have
Yeah,
asked that
I mean
before.
he's outside. I'm sure with his perception check he could hear it if he wanted to. But no, if my people and our ships show up outside the city during an attack, even if we attack any, human corsairs or the orcs that are with them, what promise can you give me that we won't be next on the firing line?
Right. I can't. I don't know. Could they fly some sort of flag? Could you fly a Wan Shi flag?
They have the power of illusion. Why wouldn't they just all be Celestian?
Well, they might not see that they're Celestian from that far away.
Yeah, and they can't disguise the boats to look like something other than they do.
But if the boats fly the flag, and they're shooting the people who are shooting them,
And if they look like Celestians,
that would
just
at
in
least
case.
give them some time.
Where would we get Celestian flags?
My people could make them.
Will they make them? Would they be able to make them in time for us?
Out of game, do I think they could? I have no idea. I don't know how long it takes to make a flag.
Your people probably have at least one official like Celestian and one official Wan Shi flag like at the settlement, and could probably mock up one or more of each of those in the amount of time, like in a couple days' time. Because think about it, a flag for a ship is enormous. Like at minimum, that thing's going to be like 4 by 7 feet in length, because it has to be large enough to see from hundreds of feet away. But they could turn over between 2 and 4, but giving...
Why couldn't they just run a white flag?
Nope. No, that could work. The leading ships could fly the flags. That could work. The leading ships will fly the flags. I'm assuming, because I'm not an expert in naval command, but I'd imagine you guys ride somewhat near each other, so you can't get flanked by other ships. So if all the ships look the same, and the ships in front are flying the flag, sure enough, the ships in back are also friends of those same ships. I think that would work. I know that would work. I know it.
All right, he looks you dead in the eye though, and says, "And I assume when all this trouble is behind us, I will have no trouble meeting with this prince of yours."
Oh, absolutely. That's one thing.
I'm
I
sure
can
he'll be super eager to meet
absolutely
you.
promise.
Better than a dragon egg, Jayu?
Better than a dragon egg.
All right.
Dragon egg's out of my hands, but meeting with the prince is something I can 100% do.
Then let it be.
All right.
He gives
Let it
you.
be.
He does a very formal bow to you, rather than shaking hands.
I do it too.
Hey.
You do it weird.
What? I do it the appropriate amount.
There you go.
You try.
What is it? What check is it?
It's a make a not human check.
What?
Use your intelligence. Humans lack that.
Sandra just
Ooh.
typed something. Karsuk, captain of the Orc Black Axe something?
Oh no, that's
I
me
don't
because
know.
I was doing Sandra's emotes earlier. No,
Oh.
Nalera had asked who the commander for the humans was, and he doesn't know that there is one. Each ship generally has its own captain, but all of the orcs there belong to the same orcish mercenary company, and that's the leader of the orcs.
And they are not going anywhere without the humans because the humans are their ferrymen.
Correct.
Oh, I have a 2 modifier. Okay.
The orcs, though, that orcish company numbers at least 40 strong by itself.
That's a lot.
And Karsuk himself is an orc warrior
Hey, there's my not human check.
that has won a couple victories in the recent war amongst various human states. He's not part of the Orc Celestian War because he's a mercenary company. He's not hired humans, but for people that know, like, would be familiar with that sort of crowd, he's not an unknown. Like, he does fairly well for himself.
Did you see my not human check? How's my bow?
It's a little stilted. It looks a little bit like you didn't really put your heart into it. Like, there was probably a chip on your shoulder that weighed you down a little bit more than it should have. 3 off balance. But, I mean, it's passable. It's passable. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Like, I didn't embarrass myself or anything.
He looks to Zhao Yu and he's like, she's embarrassing all of us.
She's embarrassing.
Alright. But with that said, he has to go draw up the orders to give to his men to send out the ships. You're still taking one of his ships, correct? To get to the Corsairs?
Yeah, because they're super fast, right?
They're faster than Celestian ships, yes.
Absolutely, we go fast.
Alright. He's going to go, I mean, obviously you want him to take care of this right now. He's going to go and speak with the captains of his ships and convince them of what he's just agreed to, or basically command them to do it since he's in charge. Because Sandre is gone and Revan is not completely here, we're going to go ahead and stop there.
He was talking just a second
Oh,
ago.
was he?
I'm here now. Yeah, I'm here now.
Okay. Then I'll give you guys the choice. Since Sandre is not here, and the next part is very obviously, unless you're going to show up and Nalair is going to sneak in and, like,
Yeah.
diplomatize
Oh,
people on a one-on-one.
I want to take a week to plan it out because this is a pretty big thing going on.
Okay. Then yeah, he will have one of his ships assigned to you. If you need, you can, or if you so desire it, you can have some of the crew from the White Knife, which is your ship, transferred over just so that they're there. But he
I would also recommend having human-hearing people on the ship.
Okay, but you can work the fine details over for that.
Yeah.
He's gonna go ahead. 3 ships will be sent out, or no, 2 ships will be sent out. 1 with you, no, 3. 1 with you, 1 to the the knife ears and dragons. 1 to the snow
Hey,
dragon.
we have a name for them now.
Yeah, the tree runners.
Hold on.
Shoal
Ren.
the shoal ren, yeah. But yeah, so when we start next game, you guys will be on your way to the Corsair landing area, and if everything goes well with the Blue Dragon, at least he should be on his way there as well.
Excellent.
And hopefully Sandra will be here for that time as well, since I've got the feeling with the way that you guys are laying this out that unnecking is on the menu.
It's gonna be on the menu. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, we won't be unnecking orcs though, because that'll get awkward.
The day, honestly.
Ooh. Well, you know what? I mean, they're orcs. Maybe he can challenge them to some sort of Agni Kai for command of the company.
Oh my gosh!
All right. Good game.
Please don't, because Nalair will want to watch that shit.
No.
She'll be busy.
All right. Well, then that's we're gonna stop a little bit early this week there. Just to.
So we started late and we're ending early.
Yep.
That's the way you do it.
Yeah, it's D&D. It's a living story. So. All right. Well, then we'll pick up next week about 4 p.m. Eastern. All right.
Bye.
Welcome back, Revan.
Welcome back just in time. I